Major Thrax versus General Granger.
Come on, General. I'll show you the meaning of death from above.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Command & Conquer General Zero Hour, and welcome to another post-commentary.
No match for me. I own the skies.
I probably shouldn't talk over this guy.
Let's give him an air show. You want to see it again?
Yeah, this is another post-commentary because as with the Nuclear Generals Challenge, well, the Toxin Generals Challenge map of the Nuclear General, I lost the audio here. OBS decided just to not record it, which happens occasionally. Especially if you unplug your mic, it occasionally happens, which I didn't do, but maybe I accidentally did or the cable slipped, whatever. Doesn't really matter. We'll get another post-commentary. Yeah, this map here, again, to be honest, once you know what to do, this map here becomes pathetically easy. This guy here doesn't build any super weapons, there's almost no ground assault, except for possibly some rangers at one point. And once you know what the best defense is, which is usually vehicles and not buildings, then you're generally good. I always build a couple of buildings because those make for good damage sponges, especially with the GLA, because the Stinger sites are kind of difficult to take down, and while their rockets can be intercepted, which makes them worse than, let's say, the Chinese Gatling bullets, even if they take out a Stinger site, it will still regenerate, so completely taking one out is just a complete pain. So these guys here will garrison these buildings as usual, because he likes to target those then, and you can just soak some hit that otherwise would have gotten towards you, or would have gone towards your other stuff. And then I'm just going to build quad cans because they're the best for this. Quad cans also react really fast. Once an enemy is in range, they just move up and boom, they already fire. Not all units do that, some are a little bit more sluggish. Also, you can fit a lot of units into those buildings. That windmill there can handle like 10 infantry. It's not like in Red Alert 3 where there's only like 6 units in every building at best. And as usual, infantry is 0 support, which is still not what you should do. And they're all dead already. And I like that I flew like one more round just to drop 2 more guys. And obviously another reason why quad cans are the right choice here is because their bullets can't be intercepted. That's what I mean, those buildings fall. Actually send a Toxin guy in there, like a cam warrior. And the Toxin rebel, even though that guy couldn't even fight back, but it doesn't really matter. That guy got promoted fully and then just died. With this first assault, don't be scared, because he's going to lose more stuff than I'm going to lose. I can replace these guys very cheaply, because GLI has cheap stuff. His Raptors, those are a little more expensive. So I'm actually going to fix this guy here. And I didn't even use that many super weapons here. If you just super weapon spam here, then this is really easy, because once you have like a dozen of these cannons, there's nothing he can do. So you can scroll and spam after that, and then he's just done. And occasionally his AI is bogged, because he doesn't really use the strat center regularly. He's got a bunch of weird triggers. He's got a couple of triggers which only come into effect when his money is really low, which never happens to him. Occasionally he just doesn't use his planes or don't rebuild them. There we go, and they're dead. And the cash bounty is really good here, because you get so much money out of these guys. And look at that, I already had almost 10,000 GLA dollars here. And that all Derek actually survived the entire fight, which is kind of amazing, because I'm used to that getting blown up immediately, but I think they only attack it initially. Of course, what you want is also scrap repair, just so you don't even have to repair your vehicles, you can just hang around. And look how many of them are already fully promoted, it's pretty amazing. Yeah, this is not difficult at all. The Chinese Gatlings, I like the Gatlings, but they always seem to take a little longer to actually start firing. And they also need to gear up, but the gearing up stuff isn't really good unless you have fight like helixes. And that's because they usually don't fire long enough for that to come into effect. So it's really good against like a massive swarm of infantry, when they all come for you, and then you can gear up and just murder all of them. You could even get the other supply depot there, but it's not really necessary. Also, for extra fun, drop a toxin bomb into his supply depot in the city and kill all the infantry he has there. Yeah, this really isn't difficult. This might actually be the fastest I've done this. I think I'm doing this in under 15 minutes. Yeah, I remember playing this the first time on medium difficulty way back. all of these took me like 45 minutes, and Lang took me like 5 hours. Well, not 5 hours. That's a vast hyperbole, but you know what I mean. It took me quite long. Yeah, but then again, to be honest, I don't think it's that difficult because there's always easy mode. I don't blame anybody playing on easy mode. I know a lot of people, not a lot of people, some people don't like it. I think the studio that like From Software that develops Dark Souls considered giving Dark Souls 3 a difficulty selection or the next Dark Souls game, and some people write it, but come on, just play on the highest difficulty. Do you want to be the super hardcore I can be Dark Souls player? Just play on the highest difficulty. Just do it. And it doesn't make it any easier. I guess it does increase the number of people that can actually beat the game. Obviously not on hard mode. Yeah, but really, what's the problem? Just play on hard mode. It's the same with the campaign levels being unlocked and selectable for the Call of Duty games, which I think they weren't even the first games to do that. I think in the first Halo you can do that. Might be misremembering that because I haven't actually played Halo. I tested it very briefly, but I might play it at one point, we'll see. But anyway, it's the same with that. If you don't like it, just play the campaign in order. Don't play it out of order. Don't just peep at the last mission. You don't have to do it. Of course, it requires some self-control, but I think most people have that. And ultimately it gives power to the player, which in my opinion is always good. So giving power to the player character is not always good, but that's a different story. But in any case, yeah, a rebel assault is actually quite a good idea against this airfield, because airfields are fragile and so are planes. So those rebels can actually, with some concentrated fire, take out those airplanes in quite a short amount of time. As you can see, he doesn't really recover. He might recover a little bit at one point, but he's going to need way more than this to take this down. I don't even think he has sent Auroras. But ultimately it doesn't really matter. I've got my black markets up. Should have built a couple more of those earlier, but again, not really important. Yeah, Dr. Thrax is actually quite decent. I forgot how good Toxins are actually against vehicles. A bunch of Toxin rebels, they suck against buildings. Against buildings they're really bad. Got some stealth planes there. But against vehicles they're actually better. I kind of forgot about that. I thought they were only really good against infantry, but no. They can actually bring down an overlord if you just pop up right next to one and then just fight it straight away. Of course you can get crushed, but generally speaking there's a definitive possibility that you manage to pull that off. Here I'm just amassing an army. Most of it should be quad cannons, some artillery to defeat base defenses and some tanks, because why not? And that's essentially it. Once I move towards his base, he's not going to survive that. Also, taking out his strat center and his power is actually quite easy. If you fire a missile in the center there, then he's not going to recover from that very quickly. And that's a very good opportunity to knock out his power. I never conquer those base defenses. I'd never take over those oil derricks in the west, nor do I take over the supply depot. I've never done that. I've never moved there even. I'm not even sure whether I've ever entered this base here through the western gate. But we'll see. Now, this army here should be large enough. Just going to select all of them 3 times because more units are coming. That guy didn't even need to be taken out, but I did it anyway. And boom. That guy died, but that's okay. I've got so many of them, it doesn't really matter. He doesn't utilize these choppers very well anyway, so I'm not actually doing that, so I'm not quite sure why he says that. But to be honest, who cares? So, and there's some guys. I should have bought a Toxin tractor, but I just powered through here because I really couldn't care less. And here we go. Operation Blackout is a go. And once that has happened, yeah, there we go. I'm not quite sure when he says we call it a draw. I don't know how much you have to destroy. Maybe it's just to destroy the strat center. It could be. It doesn't really matter too much. So there he sends his choppers. but they die very quickly and I get promotions quickly. Should still destroy these Patriots here because the units are going to fire at them anyway. And it's not really a good idea to leave them standing in case he does get power later on. So there he does use some of his auroras, but they fall quickly. Here here's a different like sound file for every airfield. So if you destroy them all just in a circle, it's really funny. He gets more and more aggravated. So just the Toxin bomb here. Toxin bomb is actually pretty good. And it's quite useful against his planes too. And no, I thought that was my Toxin. I did the same mistake when I actually played this. And yeah, he's got power again, but that's okay. Yeah, let's just retreat here and destroy his other power plant, then we're good. And the Toxin bomb for that infantry, I was really proud of that. And the Toxins here, they didn't render properly, that's why I sent all of these guys here in this Toxin cloud. Because there was a hill and they all died because of that. That was kind of pathetic. Had I not done that, this would have ended even quicker. But that was kind of hilarious, so I did not choose to replay that. I usually don't replay these unless they go really horrible, or I know that I get crippled in a way that I'm going to need like half an hour extra just to recover. But yeah, generally spoken, I can do this in one go and I don't really replay stuff often. At worst, I'm going to cut out stuff. I tend to do this lang because the battle just drags out so much. And there we go. Quad cannons in large groups, they grind through everything at a reasonable speed. Then again, if you have a lot of units of everything, obviously they're going to be strong, so that statement was kind of pointless. Dropping a Spowman in here isn't a bad idea either. And that should be it. Yeah, I want to blow up these guys though. There we go.
I guess it's time for me to go find a good airline job.
Most definitely. So thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Take care and goodbye.